Hello and welcome and thank you for joining me in another video, and actually this is my first on-camera video, and in today's video I will be showing you my new home-based podcasting setup for 2019. Now I actually did a video on my channel previously, I think about 2 years ago, where I kind of showed you my breakdown get up and go podcasting system. But now I have a dedicated space, and of course a lot more has improved, so I'd like to show you exactly what I'm working with. Come with me. Here I have my trusted laptop, and of course I have it open to none other than Audacity, and Audacity is what I use to edit my audio actually. I do not really record directly into Audacity unless I'm recording like a intro or an outro, or maybe I need to add like an additional comment or something. But other than that, I do not record directly into Audacity. Now, if that is something that you would like to do, you're more than welcome to do that. Just get yourself a USB mic, plug it in, and you go, good to go. So let's move on to the next step. So actually, where I record my podcast is none other than in this baby right here. And this is the Zoom H4n Pro, the best investment. Believe me, I am truly happy with my investment. And actually, this was initially purchased for my digital filmmaking, and I have not yet used it ever for digital filmmaking. I've used it more for podcasting than anything else. So this definitely has served multi-purpose. And the thing I love about it, the preamps is just off the chain. Now the Zoom H4 Pro, there's also the Zoom H4n regular, but this one is the Pro. And you can record in stereo, which I record in stereo when I'm recording, of course, by myself. There's also the 4-channel, which I've never really used a 4-channel recording mode. And then there's the multi-track. Now, when I am doing remote interviews, which is awesome, I use the multi-track recording mode, and it works great because what it does is separates like both channels where I can adjust the volume for both parties. So I can adjust the volume for myself if I'm too loud in the recording, or I'm talking too soft, I can, put it up. Or if the person that I'm interviewing on whether it's Skype or via phone, if they're too loud, I can adjust it where it's a little lower, or they're too low, I can bring it up, which is just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Also, this can work as a interface. All you do is you get you a USB and you just plug it in directly to the computer, and it serves like a USB interface, and then you could record straight into Audacity, and the quality is just amazing, 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 amazing. And I've purchased mine from Best Buy, and I had it. It's going on almost 2 years, and I paid about $200 for it. However, if that's too much for someone, there's also the baby sister, because I'm a female. So it's a baby sister, which is the Zoom H1, and that goes for about around $100. And I've heard some great things about the Zoom H1, and it's a great startup recorder, and it does a great job. The other great thing about this audio recorder, I could record with it. It's also my on-the-go when I'm doing like get up and go interviews. Like I normally travel to St. Martin, and I'm also working on a podcast as well, which is called The Voice of the Elders, which you can hear on SoundCloud.com. And it's where I go around interviewing the elders of St. Martin as I try to preserve like the stories and the history of St. Martin. So this comes in so great. And I just walk with this mic, and I just plug it up. And this has to the bottom, I don't know if you can see, but at the bottom you have like the ports to plug in. Right now I'm plugged in via 1/4 inch plug-in, but it also uses the XLR, which is awesome. And then you would just plug that up in here, and you're just good to go. Also, you can plug one mic right here. I mean, this thing is just great. Or what you could do, you could use these two mics, the XY mics. Those are very, very sensitive, but the quality of the recording of this, I mean, I just love it. I truly love it. My next purchase, as far as Zoom, when that time comes, she's still good. So as long as she's still good, she's gonna be here. But when that time comes, you know, because at some point the time will come, my next investment will be the Zoom H6N. I think that if that has like four inputs, I'm sorry. So yeah, so let's move on to the next stuff. Here I have my microphone. This is one of my microphones. This is not my main microphone. This is my side microphone. Actually, this is the microphone I kind of am using for the guests. Like when I'm recording on the go, I have my main mic plugged in on one, and then this would be plugged in two for my guests. And this is just a regular karaoke mic that I got at Sam Ash. It's a Samson. I think I paid like 15 bucks for it. It does the job for right now. Of course, as time goes by, we're going to start upgrading, getting much better equipment. But for right now, it does the job, and that's the most important thing. Next, we have here the Xenex 1202 USB mixing board. And the reason why I got this, not necessarily for the sound, because quite frankly, the Zoom does that on its own. And I think the amps on the Zoom is way better than the amps on the mixing board. But the reason why I got this, because it has 4 XLR plugins, as well as 4 quarter-inch plugins. So like I was saying to you, like I have a plug-in here, a quarter-inch plug-in here. I could put that here if I, you know, had 4 mics with those type of plugins. I just plug it in here. You get your adapter, you plug it in here. If not, if you have the XLR, the one that I showed you before, you just plug that right in there and you're good to go. And then you could control each channel for each person individually, you know, whether you got to bring it up, bring it down. So that's the good thing. Only thing, it's a little big for traveling on the go. So the Zoom H6N would really work great for me, because you have the same 4 XLR plugins, and it's in the palm of your hand. So it's like a studio right in the palm of your hand. Then of course here, what I have my boom arm, and it's not inexpensive. It's not a Rode. It's a ISK, whatever brand that is, but it's an ISK. It works for me for right now. Of course, we'll upgrade later on, but right now it does the job. And I think I paid like $12 or $13 for it on Amazon, and it does the job. Like, it's not the greatest, but it does the job. And attached to it, this is my main microphone, which is a Samson Q4, and I purchased this at Sam Ash for about 30 bucks. And this is my second one. The first one, I took it with me to St. Martin. I have no idea what happened to it. It just stopped working. When I came back, it was dead. So I went ahead and I purchased another one while I was up in New York, and I got the guarantee. So if this one goes bad, I'll get a new one for about $6. So can't beat the price. And it's not the top of the line microphone, but it does a pretty good job, and it has an on and off switch, as this one does as well. So that's another plus side to that. And of course, I have my pop filter, my ISK pop filter, whereas this one is a foam pop filter, and that's to prevent like the plosives from, you know, coming out when I'm recording. And of course, to the back, I have my Behringer headphones for monitoring sound while I'm recording. And in the back, of course, on my desk, I have my let me just put this down, my good old internet, because you know you can't do without the internet. So we need the internet to upload the stuff. So there we go. And of course, my trusted mouse, and of course the brand for the pop filter is ISK, and I got this from off of Amazon. The boom arm is the same. It's also the same brand. I don't remember if they came as a set or I bought them individually, but I think I did buy them individually. But combined with the two of them, maybe about 20 bucks, 21, 22 bucks on Amazon. I mean, you can't beat it for the price. Because like I said, when I first started out, I started out in St. Martin, and I had more digital filmmaking equipment. The podcasting thing just came later on. So the good thing is I was able to use some of the pieces that I had for my filmmaking and just kind of incorporate it into my podcasting. And of course, which is the Zoom H4 and Pro. So that kind of worked out like really, 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 I mean, really great as far as I'm concerned. So I didn't have like a mic stand and all of that because I had like lavalier mics for filmmaking, and I had, of course, the onboard shotgun mic like I'm using right now at the top of my camera to do this recording. So this was my first desktop mic stand that I got, and I paid like 10 bucks for it at B&H. And this is a gooseneck mic stand. It's very sturdy, so I need to get a couple more of those, like for guests. And that's about it. So this is kind of like the basic breakdown of how I go about, you know, making these are the equipment that I use to make my podcast. And overall, I would say, the Xenex mixing board cost me like $100, 99 and change, so 100 do the job for me, you know. My laptop, well, of course, I already had that. So, and then I got this for like $10. This microphone I bought on the side for like 15 bucks, but I'm looking to upgrade to an ATR 2100, which is about like maybe $60, $70. So as time goes by, I'm slowly adding and upgrading the sound and everything. So thank you. And if you're interested in checking out my podcast, I have a couple of episodes that are listed on my YouTube channel, but you can also go to Spreaker.com and Podomatic.com, and one of them is called the Words of Encouragement Podcast. I also have a commentary on Spreaker.com, which is called Arlena Uncut, where I just talk about the subjects that are going on in the world today, and I just give my take on it. I also have a devotional podcast that is called Nuggets of Thankfulness, and sometime this year, hopefully, by the grace of God, I hope to be able to be bringing more content, better quality to my YouTube channel. I should be debuting my last podcast, which, well, not my last podcast, but another podcast, which is called the Music Tribute Show Podcast, which initially was supposed to be my first podcast, but just have not gotten around yet to, you know, creating content. Kind of a little tough sometimes when you have a full-time job. You gotta, you know, the household things to do. So sometimes it can be a bit challenging, but I enjoy truly what I do. And also, of course, in the process of upgrading and continue working on the Voice of the Elders podcast, which is the newborn baby podcast, and that is mainly for and about St. Martin, which is in the Caribbean, and it's about the culture that I grew up in and trying to preserve the stories of a lot of the elders. It can be seen at some point. I'm going to be making a short documentary or a documentary in general about that, but it can be heard. You can go to the Voices of the Elders on SoundCloud.com and also on Podomatic.com as well. And you can listen to it episode by episode. And I just recently debuted the Christmas edition. And there's a couple of episodes up there where I did some interviews with a couple of people where we talk about how we celebrate Christmas back in St. Martin. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, and I do hope that you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to doing more videos. And if I haven't said it, which I didn't, have a happy, and blessed 2019. Thank you.